All right, we are live. Welcome to Passive Prospecting for Real Estate Agents, where we help real estate agents every single day build out their YouTube channels, get better on video, learn how to optimize, all that good stuff. All the ways to attract. I got to turn this notification off. All the ways to attract business to them. Passively prospect. That's the power of video, is creating the content and allowing the clients to come to you. So let's see here. We got a full house today back there. Were you chatting with everybody in the green room, Krissy?
I wasn't, but I figured we were probably going to pull some people up here on the screen, so we'll chat with them in just a couple of minutes.
And I think,
we lost your video.
Yeah, do you still have my audio?
Yes.
Let's see what happened.
Technical issues. We could be pros at video and still not be able to figure out the live, right? It happens. While we're waiting for Levi to come back in, just as a recap for people who are new, this is kind of where we go over a lot of questions that you have about YouTube, about video in general, about your channels, if you want us to look over your channels. For those of you who are in our Facebook group, if you want to go to the Facebook group, at the very top of the page, you should see this event. And we have a link there that you can actually post a direct link to your channel if you want us to review that. And we'll get to as many of them as we can today. But if we don't get to you, then of course we can also do you next week as well. And so we can keep you in mind for that. And Levi's back.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. All right, hold on. I'm going to kick you down so I'm back on the right side. Otherwise, I feel a little out of space. So 1 second here. Okay, good. I don't know. Now that we've gotten used to this, I'm on this side, you're on that side. I just got to feel like feels weird the other way around.
I got it. It's all good.
Feels like backwards day. So, all right, cool. Well, yeah, I caught a little bit of it. I think I kicked my wire underneath the table, so I had to do a quick, army crawl and check everything. So, but we should be good to go now. Let's see here. All right, so let's see. We're already all right. Good. I already got the comments coming in. Louisville, Kentucky. What's up? Hello. 2 days old to the PP. And that would be. Are you down with OPP? Yeah. That's. Oh, passive prospecting. Yes, I guess. Yes. All right. Awesome. Welcome, Louisville, living in the Ville. I like that. We called where I come from, Stephenville, we'd call that the Ville. So I hear what you're putting down. Living in the Ville. What's up, Susan? Or the solid ground method. I'm sorry. Hi, it's Susan here for the 905 guys channel audit. Oh, she's ready to go. And she says, where is the StreamYard link? And the Facebook group. Come on, Susan. I know you've rode this rodeo before. Should be there in the Facebook group. And
yeah, it should be in one of the comments.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, so who's first on the list today?
Well, we did have somebody last week that wanted to have their channel audited that we didn't get to, and so we should probably pull him up at some point. He could probably be second. I know 905 Real Estate wanted to have their channel looked at.
Yeah, who was that? That was on. Trying to think. Was that Michael? Somebody?
Susan Hansen is the one who kind of manages the channel for them, but they're called the 905 Real Estate.
Oh, I know that, but I mean the guy from last week. So.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go back and find his link. I think he posted it after the event, so I'll go find that so we can do him second.
So do we want to start with 905?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Any topics we wanted to cover today as well?
Well, we've been talking a lot about updates. So for those of you who've not watched or listened to the call that we had, I believe it was yesterday, we talked about it on a couple of other calls that we've had, but the huge shorts update, it's a big deal. So I would go back and definitely listen to the recording of that when you get a chance, because there's some big stuff happening on the short side that you definitely want to take advantage of right now. Catch the wave before it gets out of control, because if something happens on YouTube, it's going to also filter over to all of the other platforms. So get ahead of the wave and start listening to that podcast if you haven't. Now, well, actually, the podcast for yesterday's episode will be released on Monday, so stay tuned for that. But there's some big changes happening on the short side.
Okay. Are we 2 episodes ahead though on the podcast?
I think we're just doing one. I think we're 1 ahead. I'll have to double check.
Okay.
But
Because we might want to flip flop. So we might want to come out with that shorts. Because I think we have one that comes out and then shorts. I think we're a week ahead on that. So
yeah, I think shorts is the one that we have scheduled for next week. So
yeah, we want to double check that. Okay. Yeah. So do you have a link? Can you send me the link?
Yeah, let me go find it for you.
Remind me the city again. Where is Susan back here yet? Oh, there she is. Let's see. Susan, you got a thumbs up. Are you camera ready? Are you ready to come up? Okay, let's go. What's up, Susan? How are you?
Good.
How you doing? All right, let's. We got a full house today, so let's see. And do we have, other than Susan, did we have any other channels in here as well?
I believe so. I'll pull up a list of them. We had 1 or 2 other people that wanted their channels audited.
Okay. To remind me, you're in Virginia, right? Virginia or?
No, Burlington, Ontario, just 60 miles west of Toronto.
Okay, I was close.
905, Toronto City is area code 416, but all the area that surrounds Toronto is 905. And that's why they call themselves the 905 guys.
Okay. The 905 guys.
Real estate guys.
I just sent you that link.
Okay. I'm just pulling up real quick. So what's new with you, Susan? What's going on?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Oh. Hold on. All right. So
no, actually, so what happened here with the channel was I did the banner according to your template, and then they redid it all themselves. So I thought I should get your opinion on it.
Yeah, we're planning on redoing that on the video editing side, because I took a look at that yesterday, and we definitely.
It didn't look bad to me. It did everything that yours does with the map and all that.
Yeah, the first one you had was in good shape, but yeah, we'll probably end up going back and redoing this for you.
Okay, so this is their banner.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm playing good cop, bad cop here.
Okay. Well,
I need your help.
So we can really be critical on this one, and it won't hurt anybody's feelings.
Nope.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's blurry, first of all.
What the whole picture? Okay.
Well, this part behind that. Now, is it supposed to be blurry?
I don't know. He did it. So
now, I mean, I can get maybe what they're trying to do. I mean, you can't really tell on the live stream, but you can. I mean, I'm looking right here at my side monitor, and it's not a clear picture. So I don't know if it's pixelated or if they're trying to blur it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you're trying to, I don't think blurring here is in the favor of a channel banner, because you're highlighting. I mean, they'll stand out alone, but again, you go to, let's just use, oh wait, hold on. Let me see if I can figure out how to type. I still couldn't figure out how to type, but let's go to YouTube here. And let's go. Love it. All right. So this is incognito window. We love popping up right there.
Yeah.
So again, now, clearly everything's in clear shot here. But, we have city, but we shaded it on purpose. So it kind of gives depth behind it, but you can kind of tell there's a city. You can't really tell which city, but, kind of serves a purpose on here, on theirs. Again, I don't think, there's a blurred background look serves its purpose for many occasions. I'm not sure if it serves the best purpose, for the channel art. All right.
I have a question about that, because now this is Burlington Bay, but to me, that's a bunch of water that could be anywhere. Yeah. I had done one literally on that bridge looking the other way, and it had some buildings along the water so that they're more recognizable.
Yeah.
what are your comments on
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I think, yes, anything that's more, I mean, I'm not familiar with my Canadian geography. So, but still, I think you want to definitely highlight. I mean, you are highlighting your area. So I don't think, and especially water is very attractive and beautiful. So I think the last thing you want to do is blur it. Plus this, I don't know what this is, if this is a monument or if it's an antenna, you know?
It's just something on a pier. It does nothing.
Okay. Now, so that's something else today. So, so that I would definitely recommend a much better background picture. Otherwise just going with the solid color. Now over here, clearly they're doing a cutoff because on his left shoulder and on, do I have my I guess I don't have my drawing tool on incognito window. So, right to his left shoulder and to the right shoulder will be cut off on mobile. So we're seeing this on desktop. So all we'll see is right in the middle, which living in the 905. Again, if I'm not local, doesn't speak to me. So I understand that they're 905 real estate.
I know. So what you're saying is 905 what? I was going to say, yeah, living in the 905 area, or they're just trying to connect it to their, to their logo. And I'm going,
well, see, okay, so this is a great point, because the thing is that I want to make this point very clear with everyone, is that, let me find my, so I know everybody really wants to brand on YouTube, but I believe there's separation on YouTube because YouTube is a search engine. So your branding 905, doesn't tell me anything. The only zip code I know of, and that's an area code. So the only zip code I know of is 90210 because of the TV show of the 90s, and maybe 619 because I know that's a California area code because I don't know, actually there was a wrestler that always wore 619. It was funny, whenever I was in high school, we used to watch like WWE wrestling, and one wrestler always wore, he's always promoting 619. But otherwise, I'm not going to say that is brandable in general. If I come to the channel, I would rather just say living in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. You want to be as plain as day to the average person, because anybody outside of 905, especially in the US, is not going to have any affiliation with the area code.
I just keep asking them, what does the guy in Missouri think? That's what I keep asking them. Seriously. If somebody from Timbuktu is looking at this, they don't know what that is.
Yeah. And I'm going to go also with the, with the logo over here with the icon, number one, I realize their colors may be yellow, but they need to probably add some filler behind it, because otherwise that yellow and the white blends almost. You can probably see, if you're looking at the screen I'm looking on, even on the live stream, I bet if we asked anybody in the comments that I'm sharing this with right now, can you even read? You'd have to have the eyes of a 20-year-old, to see 905 white lettering in the middle of yellow. So the other thing is you want to look at color contrast whenever it comes to branding. And so this is something that we've talked about with branding on, the color wheel. Okay. So if you look at a color wheel, then ideal, I just went to Wayfair for some reason. So let's go to images first. You want to look at the color wheel, and you want to look at, this is pretty good right here. This even tells you different styles, but usually, and you'll notice this, if you haven't noticed, you'll notice now that there's a lot of teams, sports teams and things like that. You'll notice how purple really goes well with yellow. It's a contrasting color, red and green, blue and orange, and then the different shades throughout there. So ideally, some of the best marketing out there is if there's two colors, it's very contrasting. And so it's opposite of each other. They're yellow and white. You'll notice, yellow and white, of course, are very, very similar. So that's just going to make it a little bit more difficult when you're especially in a far away and you have a smaller icon like this. Did we lose Krissy?
Well, you and I had a conversation about that when we started this about 4 and 5 months ago. And you were recommending that it needs to be a face. And
oh yeah, that too. Well, that as well, yes.
so that would be first. Would that be my first goal, is to get them to switch that to a face and not change?
Well, if I'm noticing, based on these thumbnails, it looks like one person's a central character video.
Two. No, well, there's two. We just did Sean's first, and now Leo's are going up. Leo's are there. He's got one there somewhere.
Who has the smaller ego of the two? I'm just kidding. Trick question. Don't answer that on the live. So, I mean, I've seen this with two people's faces in there. I'm not a fan of it. It's very squished together and also very small. You know, I mean, I'm not completely opposed to this. I just think they need to choose different coloring, or maybe fill in the 905 with a color versus white.
Okay.
Just because I'm just saying, from when this is going to be mostly small anywhere, and so it's just going to be hard to see. And again, this 905 real estate is the name. Again, doesn't really speak to me. If this is my first time to the channel,
yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to say, from my initial look, I'm looking at here, and what I can see, this is mostly what people see whenever they pull up on the channel without scrolling. Okay, yeah. Well, I also see featured listing, you know, and this is something that we have advised against as well, is just putting the address and that in the title, right? So that's something that we've always talked about. So again, I have no idea where Triller Place Oakville is.
It's my house. I'm in it right now.
Okay.
Well, we sold it.
Well, good. But again, I'm just saying, initial reaction. I come here. Okay, 905, 905, 905, 905. Okay, 905. So yes, you're doing a great job branding 905, but again, that means zero to me.
Yeah,
means zero to me. So that's what I'm just going to caution against. Look, it's their channel, their company, their brand. They can do whatever they want, but nobody, I almost can assume nobody's searching the 905 on YouTube. You know, they're searching Burlington, Ontario.
Yeah,
they're searching, and even at least put 905 Burlington, Ontario, or put Burlington, Ontario 905 real estate. I mean, something in there. I would highly recommend that. If they're adamant about leaving that there, then at least put Burlington, Ontario, Canada at the beginning or something. You know, to do that. But here, living in the 905, you know, doesn't speak to me. Clearly, I see that's the area code, but again, 905 real estate, guys. Again, I don't see really much here in this description. Bront Beach, Bront Park. Again, nothing nothing from this original landing here, if I were to land here, is going to tell me. So I may just say, okay, well, I don't know what that is. I'm trying to find stuff in Burlington. And so I may shy away as a person searching, because I'm like, well, I'm not sure if this one's for me, unless I scroll down and I say, okay, well, I've got a good, you know, a good thumbnail now telling me about Burlington. All right. So, and now I may feel like I'm in the right place.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not getting searched. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And what is your comment on, like, the yellow with the faded? How it's got the yellow with the shading? I'm not
here.
Shading. Yeah. It's not, does that help it? That doesn't seem clear to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, the text, the shading makes it look a little blurry.
Yeah.
And it's still yellow on a lighter background,
right, as
well. So you see how at least the 905 kind of pops on this darker blue.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah. Well, see, I'll share with you what their thinking is. Like, so there's Toronto, and then when you go west, there's Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, and they sell in all four of those cities. Excuse me. It's just that they live in Burlington, and that's where they do most of their business. But I guess they were trying to, you know, sort of show more generally what area they take care of. But technically, they do not take care of the whole 100 miles of 905. So I guess what you're saying is, you know, put your stake in the ground. It's Burlington, and that's it, right? That's what you're saying. You have to be more specific for the searching.
Well, car? What is the car doing over here? Where is that driving to? What's that city right there?
Buffalo, actually. Niagara Falls and Buffalo.
Okay. So, I mean, the graphic doesn't make sense to me because it has a car driving to Buffalo. So
away from it. Yeah.
Well, then it's driving backwards if it's driving away from Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, but I mean, that's the thing is that stuff does matter. Maybe it won't deter a lot of people, but I don't know. This trolley car, I guess it's a trolley car. Looks like it's upside down, and also I'm not
sure. In the water.
Yeah, it's in the water. Is there a bridge that goes from there?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm confused by that too.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's the best picture to have there. And would you say this is considered Southern Toronto?
No, Toronto is Toronto. Then it's called the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. That's the circle all around the lake that is all 905. And you can see the three circles, like those are the three cities that they work in mostly.
Yeah.
But Burlington is their main one. So, I mean, local people or anyone in Ontario would understand the 905, but that's about as far as anybody would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my other question is the contact aside. When I look at that on the mobile, like to me, that should be black on gray, not white. I can already see it.
Again, yeah, white on gray is not a good, even from here, you can look on the screen. It's very difficult to make that out. So,
okay.
Again, we're going to talk about, can you read our banner from there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with the directions, let's meet in person on Zoom on here. Here's a clearer picture. We have directions going towards
that. Yeah.
Not facing the opposite direction. So, it's just, it's as clear as possible.
And what's their call to action again? If you wouldn't mind just going back to theirs. I can't remember what they put as their call to action up on the banner. Oh, there, what does that say? Subscribe. So there is no call to, there it's across the bottom. Yeah. They didn't want to discount anything.
But again, this is contact us today. So again, this is what we talk about where the reason we don't have that is because we feel like that's a premature sales pitch. It's not, if people are on YouTube in research mode. So therefore, if they come here, they're going to be like, okay, contact you today for what?
Yeah.
Because you're the 905 guy. Well, what does that mean? Okay. I could probably piece together. It says real estate guys. Okay. You do some real estate, but it just, we want to build, we want to create towards the lowest common denominator, which means make everything at a 4th grade level so that it's very, very clear what the channel is about. So if somebody does land here, they're not confused. They're not squinting. They're not saying, okay, well, contact you today for what? I'm just trying to look around, I'm just trying to learn some stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we're very specific on subscribe to learn about living in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Well, I'm thinking about Dallas, Texas. This speaks to me.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm from New York. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people move from New York. Okay. I get it. Oh, you want to meet in person on Zoom? Yes. That's a call to action, but I'm not there yet. So let me scroll around.
So I'm going to propose to them, Krissy, you've offered to redo the banner.
Yep.
If they will allow you just to redo the banner instead of telling them all this, I've told them most of this. So, yeah.
Yeah, we can totally redo that for them. And we can still incorporate some of their colors. I think we'd probably darken that yellow a little bit and still kind of keep it brand centric. But I think we'll just make it a little bit clearer to see, make it very clear, where the area is that they're covering and do a couple of other changes, just like we were talking about. And I think we can find a happy medium that they'll like, but at the same time, accomplishes the goal.
Well, just so you know, someone else already has living in Burlington. I know it's not a really big deal, but Burlington Light.
Burlington, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, just put the Ontario, add the Ontario to it, I think. Yeah. Okay. Or Canada. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay.
All right. Well, we got a full house. So let's try to run through as much as we can. And that should definitely get you kicked off there.
Thanks, Levi. Take care.
Thanks for joining us today. Let me see. How do I kick you out of here? Oh yeah, I got it. There's like 2 bars. There's so many people back here. It's cool. All right, there we go. We got it. All right, who's next on the list?
I just sent you a list.
Oh, on WhatsApp?
3 other people who have requested. The second link is the guy that we had last week that wanted us to audit, and we didn't get a chance to get to him.
Was that on WhatsApp?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let me pull that up. Let me just double check. Kim, you're just listening in, right? Kim, you're just listening? Okay, no questions? I can't hear you, though. You have to...
The only thing, I was curious. I've never been here on before. So I was wondering in regards to how you get people to even notice the YouTube. I know people who YouTube everything from recipes to how to fix stuff. But that's one of the things, one of the other agents wants to work with me in it. And she's like, I would never go to YouTube for real estate. So I saw this. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to watch this. So I'm watching to try to get insight. Okay. But that's kind of a question, but that was all because I'm just kind of soaking it in for now. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, quick answer is YouTube is a giant search engine. It's the number 2 search engine behind Google, and Google owns YouTube. So when you Google stuff, Google's going to push you to YouTube most likely. But 70% of the searches on YouTube are how to and what does, which again, we name a lot of our titles. What does 500K get you in Dallas, Texas? Because people are searching that. They're looking for that information. So if people are on there, trust me, we show you one of our suburbs, Plano, Texas, gets 834,000 searches per month. So think about that. So let me ask you this. Where do you live?
Lynchburg, Virginia, Central Virginia.
Okay, so let me go into here. And so let me just show you this real quick. Let's go Keyword Explorer. Where was that again?
Lynchburg, Lynchburg, Virginia.
All right, so it's giving me VA first. So we look at that. And okay, so 32,000 searches a month just on Lynchburg.
Wow.
Now, if we look at Lynchburg, Virginia, 602,000 searches per month. So think about that. If you made a video on Lynchburg, Virginia, you got 602,000 eyeballs a month looking for something on that information. Now, they may not all be real estate related, but they're searching Lynchburg for some reason. And so that's why you want to be on YouTube.
Okay. And so the title is your biggest catch, what you title your YouTube, or just every time you make a new one, you have a new title for what you're going to do?
Well, every video has its own title. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
But
I'm really new.
If that's your main city, you probably want Lynchburg, Virginia in your channel name, right?
Right.
Moving to, living in, Lynchburg, Virginia, living, relocating to Lynchburg, whatever you want to target. So that'll help you out.
Okay. Thanks so much.
There you go. All right. You're welcome. Let's see. Let me pull up that list now. We go to trusty WhatsApp here. We got we already got that one. Let's go with this one. Yeah, this is our guy. That's who is here. Is he here today? Is he in the green room? I think you're on mute, Krissy.
Yeah, I don't think he's here with us today.
Okay. Oh, Doug. That's right, Doug. Okay, Doug, let's see. Well, real quick, Doug, if you're around, let us know in the comments or pop into the live stream. But I'll just real quick tell you, okay, we probably just need to move these. Oh, let me share screen. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Do this. All right. So initially, I'd say we probably want to move these arrows up a little bit. They're just getting cut off a little bit by the subscribe. We probably want to increase size of the lettering. I mean, you can read this. It's hard to read the new videos every week. That red just on the background is a little, gets a little bit blurred. So I might think of a different color for that or a different background to make it pop a little bit more. And it could be a little bit bigger. Same thing with even the learn about living in Philly suburbs. That could be a little bit, I mean, you can take up more space with it, right? And so, and then this, your Philly suburbs living right here is a little small, but I can see it on a desktop. Might be really hard to read in on a mobile, because this would be in the mobile version right there, and we have nothing over here. So I would think about utilizing this space. Maybe you want to put a picture of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania and a big circle around the areas you cover, or something like that. Maybe a picture of the state with a big circle of it. One is like this. Let's see. Here's a good example of that. Whenever you're let's see here. Let's see. Oh. See what pops up in Northwest Georgia. Oh, when I search north, look at that. Look at that handsome fellow. So Northwest Georgia, you see how they've got the picture of the state and a little highlight of the area up there. That's probably still not as noticeable, but it is kind of highlighting that. So something along those lines, I think, would work there, maybe in that side. And then I might increase the lettering a little bit more. Maybe you could center this lettering. Let me use my drawing tool. Maybe you could center the lettering more right here, kind of clump it up. And then since you're solo, I have Travis in there. So then maybe you could move the skyline over a little bit if you want to have a couple of the buildings in this area. You want to have a couple of the buildings, then you could have that right there. And maybe just kind of bunch up this lettering, make it a little bit more bigger there in the middle, bring these arrows up. And then we have the issue of all the social medias over here. So plus there's nothing really describing what we want to happen. So we got arrows pointing down, but we probably need a call to action as far as what do we want going on right there. So, again, we recommend a link to schedule a call with you. That's the only reason we recommend, diverting people from your channel. So some sort of Zoom link, something like that, email, you could do. Well, I don't think, you can't do email there, but some sort of link to book a call or schedule a call with you. But I would definitely probably remove TikTok, Instagram, and even the home search. Again, this is something that TikTok and Instagram, you're going to distract them over to short form content platforms. And I mean, you got a lot of house related stuff. That's cool. But I think it's good to let TikTok work on its own and keep people on with YouTube. You got your description in here. That should be fine. And so, yeah, I would probably just work on the banner a little bit better and, tighten it up. It's not bad right now. I think there's some improvements that could be done to it to kind of clean it up a little bit. So I do like, we got a post went 7 months ago. Well, we got to post some content, Doug. So that would be the first thing too. Let's post some content. 7 months. I'm assuming he's getting back into it. I mean, I like the lettering on these thumbnails, they could probably be a little bit bigger on there. So I that's got good contrast with the back of what you have there.
And probably put the picture on the right-hand side too, generally speaking.
Yeah, we typically put ourselves on the right side just because of the timer and whatnot. And again, people read from left to right.
Yeah.
So you kind of want them to read, just kind of like on here, is Suderton the best? So, they read left to right and then they see who it is. And then also, you kind of kill that dead space with the timer on there. But other than that, I'll leave it there. I like this pros and cons thumbnail. I mean, you got some good stuff, man. You just got to get posting again. Tighten up the banner a little bit, and I think you'd be well on your way. Let's see.
Pennsylvania, what the area looks like. want to know what it's like to live right here.
It's cool little intro. It's kind of catching. A lot of changes and transitions. So yep, good to go. Get back in it. Time to get back in the saddle. Let's see here. Who else we got? Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. Did I see Doug? Did Doug pop in? No, he did not. Okay. So let's go to WhatsApp, trusty old WhatsApp. We got
a long list. We'll see who we can get to today.
Oh, my man Andrew. What's up? This looks like Andrew. Looks like Andrew or his evil twin, maybe. It could be. Let's see here. What's up, Andrew? How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's new with you?
Yeah, just another day, another dollar. How was your birthday?
That was great. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good times, you know?
Good.
I'm 1 year younger. All right, good. So let's see here. Let me do a little screen share and we get rocking and rolling. All right. So, I mean, I think you got, you got all the elements you need. I would think, I'm not sure. Have you looked at this on mobile, Andrew?
I have not.
Okay. So I would just be curious about placement right here, because actually let me pull it up on mobile real quick. Because I don't know. I wonder if, is part of it cut off? Yep. So I could tell right there, your part of your Florida picture is cut off. I see it. So.
But the verbals there, I mean, I don't know, like the new videos and subscribe and all that kind of stuff.
It just gives you a little bit cleaner look if you just move this over to the left. So it'll
make it maybe a tad smaller too. I'd probably make it a little smaller and let some margins be on the top and bottom of that.
Yeah. I mean, if you just center it, if you center it in there, then it'll give you the even amount of space. And again, this is really this is my new, I mean, it is. So, but when we look at these all the time too, that's a lot of stuff that pops out at us. But your average person probably not going to make notice of it, but they'll see it on mobile. They'll definitely see like there's another picture there kind of cut off. So, something to consider, moving that over, centering it. So it's just over on that left-hand side. I would look at a little bit cleaner headshot if you've got one. This one seems a little, I mean, it looks good on the screen, on the live stream right here. I think on my screen, let me move it over real quick. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just saying it's a little grainy, so it might just be resolution or something like that. So just might want to consider looking at that, or if you've got a different headshot with a little bit more clear, and then possibly even matching. If this one's a little bit more clear, then we kind of got a little bit of a goatee in this one. This one clean shaven, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. That was at the gray shirt was at shareholders this year.
Gotcha. Was that one of the headshots they gave you?
Yeah, I didn't have one, so I checked my phone. I was like, oh yeah, they just sent me one. So
okay, maybe just check the download on it or something. That's what it kind of looks like. It might have just downloaded, not 100%, because I would imagine they sent you a professional picture. So yep. So again, I think here too, I assume this is a water picture behind you, right?
Okay. I have no idea.
Oh, okay. So I might think of something a little bit, I mean, it's fine, but also I guess it looks on the screen. For me, it is still a little bit blendy. So maybe just some outline on the letters could help, but otherwise I'm not. First Coast, again, I think First Coast is like a local term. So I might be a little bit more descriptive on that. But I mean, if that's what you're working towards.
Yeah, Florida's First Coast means Northeast Florida, but I already knew you were going to say this when I heard the young lady from Canada came up with the 905. If you don't live here, you're not going to know. So how hard is it to change the name of the channel? Is it that big of a deal, or?
No, you just go in here, go to customization, basic info, and it's right there.
would you suggest doing that, but then leave my team name the same? That those don't have to be the same name, do they?
No. Nope. So no, and I would just maybe put. I mean, if you want to put Northeast Coast, so St. Augustine. What are you? Are you close to Jacksonville too, or?
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes south.
Okay. Do you work Jacksonville?
Yep, yes I do.
Are you not wanting to brand around Jacksonville?
No, I do. The videos I have right now are St. Augustine, but I've got new ones coming out in Jacksonville too. So I'm trying to do them for all up and down the First Coast, which is Jacksonville, St. Augustine, and then down in the Palm Coast.
Did I spell that right? Jacksonville.
It's kind of small on my screen. No, it's CKSONV.
Duh.
There you
There we go.
go. Thank you.
Jackson, JX. I don't know. Jacksonville, Florida. So let's see. Let's look at Jacksonville. $2.27 million monthly searches for Jacksonville FL. 2.27 million. That may be the highest I've ever seen.
Okay.
That's crazy. But then it's funny. I put in Jacksonville, Florida. And it's probably still somewhere up there. So let's just try Jacksonville.
Well, there's a few different Jacksonvilles.
That's 3.18 million. Jeez.
Yeah.
So maybe people just don't want to type out Florida. I mean, I think you'd still get probably similar results if you put in Florida, but then let's look at St. Augustine. I mean, 1.74 million. So you still have about a million searches. I mean, the thing is that your driver, Jacksonville, I think about, I know of Jacksonville. I don't think of St. Augustine initially, but if I search Jacksonville, I might come across St. Augustine, or I start getting familiar once I come across it on a map,
What drives a lot of people here, though, is we're a bedroom community for Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're moving here and you're young and single or something in that case, yeah, you're going to Jacksonville. But if you're married with kids and you want those kids in schools, highly rated schools, then you're coming to St. Augustine.
Yeah.
So I don't know the difference.
But I'd still say Florida's First Coast. Yeah, it doesn't really tell me. Let me see if it even. Oh, Florida's first serial killer. That's what pops up as the main search term for Florida's first. So here's where you have to choose. You may love the First Coast, and that's what you want to brand, right? You love the First Coast, and everyone calls it the First Coast. But do you want to get found sooner rather than later? And with 2.27 million searches for Jacksonville, I think I'd become the Jacksonville team somehow, some way.
Okay.
I mean, and that's just something, and that you can still have your Florida's First Coast team. But for the channel and the search terms, it's probably going to be way better to have that.
Could I combine Jacksonville / St. Augustine in a search, or would you recommend just calling a YouTube channel just one city and that's it?
Yeah, I would probably focus on. I mean, Jacksonville has 1 million more searches than St. Augustine. So unless you're really, if do you mind working Jacksonville?
I prefer St. Johns County. That's where I live. That's kind of where the vast.
You have a team member, a person that you can refer to Jacksonville?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I do go up there, and I definitely would. But yeah.
Do you mind making content on Jacksonville?
Nope, not at all.
No. I mean, I think if you really want to give yourself better opportunity for success, now, like I said, if you want to be niched in on St. Augustine and south of that or around that, go for that. Just realize, I mean, you still have a significant amount of search volume. So I would think about that. No decisions have to be made today. I'm just saying that think about, okay, because if you commit to Jacksonville, then you want to stay consistent. You can still make content St. Augustine everywhere else around there, but just think about, how that looks going forward. You're going to want to have probably 5, 10, 15 videos around Jacksonville just to give it some good volume. And then, you'll have content there for St. Augustine and everything else. So, but again, you're giving yourself a million more opportunities to be found by including Jacksonville in there.
Okay.
But if you're good with the other, then, then maybe you brand around St. Augustine, if you really want to stay that tight and you're like, man, I don't know if I want to get caught up in the Jacksonville thing. So I would just chew on that and figure out what you want to do. So that's what I would consider.
Appreciate that.
So, yep. I mean, you got to meet us on Zoom. I mean, again, I'd go ahead and probably get rid of the Facebook on there.
Okay.
Just so, just on there. And then, I think let me go back let me add it back. The little Facebook logo on there, distraction on there. And again, I'm not saying I would just look for a little bit better of a contrast. I mean, it's not bad. You can see it, but it's a little bit blendy, I would say.
What about a solid background? Would that solve the problem?
Yeah, you could, but I think you've also, I mean, you want to use the water to your advantage. So is there a water / skyline view that, you may be able to look at? So something on there. I mean, if you got let me see. Let me see. I mean, look at that. That's a cool picture. That makes Jacksonville look sexy right there. Look at that one. I mean, these are some great thumbnails right here.
Okay.
I mean, look at these. That's a wide picture. That's a great looking banner in my opinion.
Okay.
But you just want to make sure you have some good contrasting letters right over that just kind of, or you add, shadowing doesn't have to be black behind it. You can add some shading behind it or something, or outline or depth on there to kind of just give it that contrast over that. But if you take this picture and like if I did this, if I go to Canva, watch this, create design, let's do YouTube banner. We put it in there and we said, copy image.
Well, I would have to find something on iStock or something, wouldn't I? So I don't have to worry about copyright stuff.
Well, if you want to play it safe, yeah. The chance that somebody finds this and hits you with it, then possible. But still, for example, yes. Let's say
they have some really good ones if you were to go to like Shutterfly, or not Shutterfly. Shutterstock. Shutterstock has some really good stock images that you can use that have some great contrasting colors. So that'd be a good place to look.
So you take this one image and just, for example, like just even moving up the contrast, I mean, look at that. And then if you do a little saturation or something.
Okay.
Now you see that difference versus that even.
Sure.
You want to kind of just adding that now adding lettering to that is even going to pop right there too, just because we brought up that saturation, So, I mean, if you bring saturation all the way up, you could really intensify it, make it stand out there, and you've got a cool looking pic. So yeah, you could find something like this on iStock or wherever, and you've got a great looking banner right there.
Okay.
That would pop. And then, yep. So that's what I would do.
Well, that's what I will do then.
Let's see. Yep. And same thing. I mean, I would do the same thing on thumbnails. So again, you want yourself to be, really take up almost a third on the right side. move that that text a little bit over to the left. And I'm not sure, I can't really see what you're saying in your head right there.
River or ocean?
Okay. Yeah, it's really too small to read.
Okay.
So think about that as well. And also even that little word, because it kind of blurs out. And that it could just be the fact that I'm 43 now and my eyes are giving way. Yeah. So I can't see, but and even like here, like that lettering in between the two of you, can't read it at all. It says when buying resale homes. So you want to think about these being on a cell phone. If I can't even really read that on a desktop, I'm not going to be able to read it on a cell phone.
Okay.
So same thing here. All this could be enlarged, enhanced, saturated. The house could be brought up a little bit bigger. I mean, your face is kind of cut off with the timer, so that's why you want to bring it up. And so I just working on all that. But again, you take any of these pictures and up the saturation and the contrast and things like that, you can make this regular house look unique,
Where do I find like this video that we're doing right now?
On the channel.
So it'll be on the channel. Okay, cool.
Yeah, as soon as we end this, it's live, or it's not live, but it's published on the channel.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little live button on the top of our channel, and that's where all of our lives are recorded and stored.
Very good.
Yep. So now right here, live. So when you click on the live tab, it'll be the recently uploaded. Cool.
Very good. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yep, you got it. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, let's man, we almost at top of the hour.
Yeah, we probably have time for one more review, and then we probably ought to do rapid fire questions in the chat.
Okay, let's probably go to that. We've got 3 more channels. Let me see. Well, let's just try this one real quick. I'll just pop up this one more, and then I think we got 3 more after that. So living in Portland, Urban View Group. Who are these guys? They looking good. All right. Well, it looks like, all right. I like what I'm seeing so far. So it looks like this is their logo over here. It's a little hard to make out. It kind of blends in with the background, but I might look at something trying to make that pop a little bit more. But clearly they got people. It was funny. I was looking at, I just read that study. It was interesting. Portland's still one of the top relocation markets in the country. And it said its biggest influx is coming from Boston. I'm like, man, they're just moving straight across the country from one coast to the other one. They're like, well, Boston's so bad, I'm just going to go. Oh, what's up, Jared?
Oh, hey. I was wondering when it would come in. I was wondering when it would. It was weird.
Yeah. So, I was just, I'm sure you know the stats, but I was just reading, I think Portland's like in the top 5 of a relocation market in the U.S. And
that's great.
The main influx is coming from Boston.
Where's so we're early. We have 3 videos up, and I've got we've got others in the hopper. We've shot, I don't know, 10 or 12, way more than that actually. Not even including the map videos and stuff. But what was I getting at? Where's the spot that you get your data? Because like ours has felt kind of all over the place. I mean, we've followed most of the course, but we're definitely getting things launched and going. Like mainly with the SEO and keyword search and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's great information to know. Like as we're starting, we feel like we're just kind of in the weeds, with everyone else.
And you mean as far as where am I getting information on suburbs or areas, or
like that Boston is the #1 spot that people are coming from, that we're top 5 of relocation, things like that.
let me show you. Let me show you something real quick. This is really good for everyone. Let me do this. So here's something, and then I'll pull it. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Let me find it real quick. All right. So here's the article. Out-of-town home buyers are looking to DFW over most other metros. And so when I scroll down on here, Portland's actually number 10. Portland, Oregon, 3,300 net inflow coming from Boston, top origin Boston, top out of state Boston. So then I look at Dallas. I was actually surprised Dallas is number 9. Look at this. Sacramento. Sacramento.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, people in California say, well, everyone's leaving California. Well, they're actually just moving out of San Francisco and Los Angeles, right? So
and headed down to the SD too.
Yep. Yeah. So
yeah.
Miami, but look at this, Sacramento. They're coming from San Francisco. Top out of state is Chicago. Then you got Las Vegas. Look at this, top origin: Los Angeles, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Dallas, Los Angeles.
That's cool.
Tells us here, but I was surprised to see, Sacramento.
Medfin, got it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people in California. That's the funny is they say Dallas, is the top relocation, but people they're moving to Phoenix and Vegas and San Diego and those closer areas, right? They're not making the full jump over there. But this is the thing that you can do. This is how I get this information every day is Google Alerts. So
cool.
On my alerts, I have Dallas, Texas real estate and my name. It's because if anything, any article pops up, that's not an ego thing, but I want to know, is it good? Is it bad? What's being said? What's going on? Am I getting published somewhere? And so, if my name gets thrown anywhere, I'll know that. But otherwise, I come and in my email every day and you set the time for this. So then I get a Google alert every single day with all of the articles that came out that day for Dallas, Texas real estate.
That's smart. I love that.
Yep. And this gives me content for videos. It gives me knowledge to talk about with clients. I can name off weird stats to people like you in Portland. And they're like, wait a second, I live in Portland. I don't even know this stuff. How do you know that? I'm like, well, I just, read a recent article. And the thing is that a lot of this stuff is, you scroll down here, other than some ads, it's like, that's it. It's like a 5-minute read,
Yeah.
Most articles these days it's not like the reporting of the of the 90s and right? I mean, almost every
super in-depth, long
research. Yeah, heavily. They're just like, oh, here's some stats. We can write a headline.
Yeah.
Paragraphs.
Our attention span is just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's it. But yeah, we go back here real quick. I would say everything looks good on here. It looks like you copied very well, so we appreciate that. Yep.
You'll see that in our copy and everything.
Yep. So
we just figured we'd start where we know it works. So
there you go. I would just look about maybe. This could be probably a little bit resized. I can't really read new videos every week. That's a little bit on the smaller side, but you'll just notice what do we kind of have different fonts for each font sizes, each line. You can add a little color on one of there or something. So
you've got Dallas, Texas, like all the way to the bottom line there.
Yeah.
Really maximize that.
Yeah. Don't feel bad about, it goes a little bit over my shoulder, a little over Travis's shoulder. So you've got room there and you're both wearing black. So, you could have the P over here and the N over here and it doesn't take away from you guys, No,
that's cool.
So that gives you a little bit more space to work with. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I'll play with the line height a little bit too. Like I can see spacing between like living in and the learn about. You'll be surprised how much space you gain just by bringing it up 1 or 2, clicks. It'll give you a lot of space on the bottom to kind of expand that text for Portland, Oregon too. So just try to really maximize all of the space as best you can, but it looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah. And I also designed this very much with TV in mind. Part of it is that these are, at some point, my business partner and I will do some fresh photos together. And we'll probably get a whole another slew of photos, and we'll have that in mind. That will eventually land on a header. But like the bottom was cut off, but for TV, I wanted to make sure that it just wasn't, nothing down there. So the TV version has black bars on the bottom and top with more information like, new videos every week, subscriber, just kind of the title of the channel. A little background on me. So I am actually, I'm a newer real estate agent, but I also do photo video. And so I'm actually shooting and editing all of these. The system's actually pretty good. And I remember you talking about, it's not necessarily the best use of our time. And someday it's something that I definitely want to offload. But we're just shooting with iPhone. When we've shot, we typically shoot 4 videos a day. We've added in like the subject matter is, we're kind of combining some strategy based off of who we want to work with. As Tom Ferry says, like your vibe attracts your tribe. And so we're doing the subject matters of the videos are what's it like to live in, this particular suburb. The map video is definitely from you guys. And then pros and cons from you guys. And then we're also doing an additional, in that order, the next one coming up is Portland pros and cons. And then we have a bonus one coming up this Saturday, Live Like a Local. So it's like everything you need to know to live like a local on day one. And so our cadence is like Monday, Thursday, Saturday. And we cycle through one suburb like every 2 weeks with 5 videos, one of the 4 being about Portland. And then we'll just keep rolling. So that's kind of our plan there.
All right, cool. I like it.
That's all I needed to hear.
I like it. Yeah. Hey, looking good.
The master said he likes it. So
we'll bring up. So Susan, if Susan's still around,
Thanks,
sure.
Y'all.
Yeah, Susan, I was going to say here's you got 2 people. You crammed yourselves in there quite well. So good job on that. You maybe lighten that background color behind you guys just a little bit because you're both wearing dark shirts. So
yeah,
maybe just lighten that just a little bit just to give a little bit more contrast. So, that would be something I would consider just on there. And, but yeah, overall you're good. And and you kind of shaded the background so you can see there's nice mountains and things like that around. So yeah, overall, I think looks like you're off to the
Hey everyone, so you are looking to move to Beaverton, Oregon, but you're wondering about all the good and the bad, the greats, the not so greats about living in Beaverton. Well, today we are going to be talking about all of the pros and cons about living in Beaverton, Oregon. And it all starts right now. Let's get to it. Welcome to the channel, and if it's your first time, we want to invite you to us description.
So Beaverton is located just west of downtown Portland. So it's a really close.
I like the, at the beginning, you immediately cut in B-roll. That looks good. Editing looks great. So you're doing a good job there. And if that's what you want to do or that's part of it, yes, then go for it. But also you could add some chapters.
It says that I can't do that until a certain amount of time. We'll definitely want to.
I don't think
chapters you just do in the description. So it's just typing in time.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
And it will automatically generate that into your timeline and into the bottom of the video.
Cool.
It just helps a little bit more with optimization and then also you need a featured and a trailer video. So even though you got 3 videos, go ahead and pick 2 of these to be your featured and your trailer video.
Okay. And the trailer is
for people that are not subscribed to the channel. So it'll be their first impression because it automatically plays.
Got it. Yeah, no, definitely. As we, That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for, especially after this week is done, having all that content. I think, yeah, it's going to feel really good. Cool.
But yeah, off to a good start.
Thanks. Yeah, we're improving on some things. Like kept, instead of saying, "Hey everyone," we're like, "So you're thinking of moving," and we also got a really simple. I think the mics are right here. It's like these really simple clip-on ones, so the audio gets a lot better. That particular day, we were trying to. It was our first day shooting, and so if you watch the videos progressively, we're definitely exhausted by the end because we had a lot of starts and stops. But then we've started flowing over the past few weeks. We feel amazing, and it just kind of flows. So, cool. Thanks for that feedback. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, see you, Jared. Let's see. All right, let's go rapid fire. Let's save the next 3 channel. We'll have to just save that for next week. So we got loaded up here. Let's see. Well, Art says, how y'all doing? We're doing well, Art. Thank you. Hello from Myrtle Beach. Hey, Myrtle Beach. Let's see. Good morning from OSU and U of O. U of O Nations. Willamette Valley, Oregon. Oh, okay. All right. I love, there's some good wine there. So thank you for making videos. My question is about partnership. I wish to focus in the marketing video side and leave the production side to someone else. Awesome. That's what I do. How do you approach and discuss splits with a partner?
We have a podcast episode on that, actually.
Oh, there you go. Yep. I would say refer to the podcast episode. That was what?
We have 2 parts. Yeah, we have 2 parts to that one. You'll see it. There's partnership in the title of both of them. So I'd go look at those because we do an in-depth dive in on partnerships and then building a team.
Yep. Let's see. Day in the life of Dallas, Texas. Where do I submit YouTube? Well, you're disqualified because you're in Dallas, Texas. So we're not going to help you out at all. No.
In the future, it's in the Facebook group. So do that on the actual event in the discussion. So most people were able to get into that today.
Yeah, or you could even throw them in this chat here too. Probably.
Yeah, we had a couple people who have submitted here too. So
I speak 4 languages and I deal with many international investors. Should I have 4 channels or concentrate? I do a channel in English and then in your intro, say, my name is Daniel. By the way, habla español. I don't know. I speak Portuguese. I speak Italian. I speak French. Whatever the languages that they are, I would probably say them in that language real quick, and then just do 1 channel in English. So that's probably what I would do there. How to see mini searches in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. How to see, just use TubeBuddy just like we did. So what did you for the search? All right. What did you use for the, they're typing way too fast. TubeBuddy. So we use TubeBuddy on there. How's everyone's success in small markets? Krissy, you want to take that one away?
small markets do really well with YouTube because generally speaking, you just don't have a whole lot of competition. So people who get in on the game with a small market usually take over. My husband has a channel out in Northwest Georgia. He was one that we highlighted today, and he just got a call for a $1.4 million buyer last week. And I mean, he hasn't made content for a couple of months, which we don't recommend, but you know, the fact that he's the only person in the market right now, he's still actively getting calls every single week from the channel. So you tend to take over the area when you do it. So I would definitely do that if you're in a small market. And in some cases, it can even be better than being in a really, really large market. So just depends on how you approach it, but they do well generally. So.
Yep.
It's really all about consistency. It really comes back to you, though. It comes back to being really, really good with your SEO, being intentional with your content, doing all the things we talked about in the course with the searching ahead of time for topics and locations. And if you're doing all of those things, it's going to be pretty hard to beat you, especially if you get in right now where it's still a fresh opportunity in the smaller markets.
There you go. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm licensed in Florida as well. I love LA and the Miami area. I'm wondering if moving from SoCal to SoFlo and vice versa is too narrow of a niche. Thoughts?
I feel
Well,
like that's a little bit of a narrow.
I mean, you're going to have to, I don't know, depending on your time, what your schedule is, but if you're going to try to do 2 cities in one channel, I would probably put that in the banner, and I would create seasons, like seasons of a TV episode. Like California season airs January through April or whatever, or January through June. I don't know, let's say you spend 6 months in each area. I'd say California season, January through June airs, and then you film your content while you're there. And then if you're in Miami from July to December, Miami season from July. I don't know. You got to let people know. Otherwise, they're just going to be confused, and it's going to be very difficult if you try to just bounce back and forth from city to city. It's going to be very interesting. So that would be a challenge. I think anything can be done, but that's probably what I'd throw in there.
Well, and I would say too, it's going to either be really, really too narrow, or it's going to be way, way, way too broad, depending on how you approach it. Because if you're only talking about only moving from SoCal, only moving to South Florida, then you're limiting all of these other places that are having relocations, and they're going to think, oh, well, this doesn't apply to me. On the other hand, then you're talking about 2 completely unrelated. I mean, they're somewhat related because there's a relocation happening, but pretty much unrelated areas. So if you're trying to do, half of your channel based on South Florida, half of your channel based on South California, I just feel like that could be really very confusing as well. So it could be either way too narrow or way too broad. I don't really know that there's a happy medium with something like that.
All right, rapid fire. I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of wind noise. You need a wind guard, possibly, or a dead cat on your microphone, depending on what type of microphone you're using. I see Eric in the back. Eric, are you wanting to come on? Do you have a question, or are you just hanging out? You have to give me a thumbs up. Do you want to come on?
Yes.
Oh, all right. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, it's my first time, so I can come on next week too. I threw a lot at you. I'm brand new. I just finished your course. I'm going to use your editors for the 3 times a week, so I'm all in. And I wrote some questions in earlier, but basically, so I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I thought I was just going to do San Francisco, but it sounds like I should be doing the entire Bay Area and create a team. So my first question would be that should I go niche to SF, which has got 800,000 people, or should I go the whole Bay Area? And then my second question would be, should I be treating the neighborhoods like cities? Because in San Francisco, every neighborhood, there's 100 of them, they act like cities. And the way that you approach things, I love your program for your SEO and all the data and analytics, but I don't know if I can talk to my base the same way as you, because my buyers, they moved here 5 years ago for their tech job, and they've been renting for the last 3 to 5 years, and now they're ready to buy.
Okay. So I would just say, so you're thinking of buying a home in Oakland, in San Francisco, in wherever else is you want, so whatever area you're in, make it specific for that city and do a video on that. And I would just say, so you're thinking about buying a home here, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. That's all you got to do. If you're not, if people are already there, if you're saying that is your market and that's what you want to speak to, then I would just change that up.
And is it too many details if I get in a little deeper? Because I don't know if I could do the whole, hey, here's a Whole Foods over here, and here's the train over here. Might have to get a little bit more detailed to be like, here's Alamo Square, and here's and here's how you get to Golden Gate Park. And
you mean on like a map video?
On all of them. I think it might be the way that you do yours is very high level for an out-of-towner, but I don't know if I can pull that off. I don't know if I can keep their attention or have them trust me. I might have to get more granular, which I've done on other YouTube videos, but I only get like 1,000 views and no bites, because without the SEO. So I'm really afraid to be like, oh, let me take all your back end and I'll film my way, and because I don't want to fail. So I'm like, should I go your way all in, or what say you?
Well, I always say that our way is the recommendation, and what we found to have a lot of success, and a lot of people that have modeled that have had success, but I think everybody adapts it to fit their own personality and their own style and their own market and their own knowledge, So I think you want to go with your gut, what you're saying. If you feel something might be better, give it a try. You could test it on some videos. I mean, do some videos on, and I don't know if you work Oakland. I'm just, that's the only thing I know closest to there. So I'm just saying Oakland versus San Francisco. If you want to try, the style you think is going to work in Oakland, and then you want to try a different style over here. I mean, there's different ways you could kind of test some things out. I mean, it's still going to be hard to say, because anytime we ask people, we know they came from the YouTube channel. Well, what was it? They just say, well, I just love all the videos.
Yeah.
Well, was it like, I don't think one video, like they go, oh, that was the video. I mean, we've had a couple of people have been like, well, that one video, yeah, that was great. But it's usually just they're consuming all the content. So I think when people are in research mode, again, where we always say, give as much information as needed, but don't over talk and keep talking just to fluff up the video. So, be very informational, concise, include a lot of B-roll in there as well. And then, go with what you think is, but the SEO is going to take your back on the search. So, and then once people get into the content, you're going to find out either they're going to resonate with you or not. And so, that's something you want to take a look at.
And then for searching, pardon me.
Sorry. Ultimately, I would just say too, like the basis of our style is really just giving people a look and feel, a taste of what it's actually like to live in that area. So if you're speaking to locals that kind of understand the area, you just need to go more in depth. And I definitely would treat your neighborhoods like we treat cities.
Okay.
We have somebody in Irvine who's doing exactly the same thing, because that's kind of how that community is as well. And they talk a lot about the proximity to the shopping, and they talk about, the view in certain areas and some of the perks of living in certain areas, so I would definitely approach it that way. But ultimately it comes down to lifestyle. Why are people moving there? And then of course, test stuff out. You're going to have to probably have some videos where you fall flat on your face as far as the stats go too. You can't be afraid of having failures with the videos, because failure is statistics. That's something that you can actually pull from and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's go in the other direction with that. And we had a couple of videos just like that. I mean, if you go deep enough in our channel, you'll find some videos that flopped, but that was really, those were pivot points for us. And the next video did super, super well in a lot of cases, just because we pivoted based on what the audience was telling us. So I wouldn't be so afraid of failing, especially at the very beginning. Just go in, try different things, base it off of our method, and then just kind of tweak it based on the response that you get from the community.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Because my biggest problem is I'll type in Russian Hill, San Francisco, and there's 50 million views because it's a bunch of tourists from Europe and all over. They're not home buyers. And then I'll make a video for them and say, hey, and then like, oh yeah, no crap. I lived here for 5 years. I've rented in Russian Hill. I'm ready to buy here. So that's what I'm trying to deal with. And then my last question is for that. Is there any way I can kind of search outside the box or search deeper on TubeBuddy about the full program to find out what they're actually looking for? Because they do live in that particular neighborhood already. So like, how do I title an SEO maybe a little bit more in depth, or should I just kind of keep it simple to start out?
Yeah, I mean, of course, just go back to TubeBuddy and just see what's getting searched. And I think that's what you need to base your titles off of and your descriptions. But I think you also need to have a little bit of outside knowledge about what people are asking for, what your renters are saying, just based on what you're talking to people about too. Incorporate some of that in there as well and test some of that data out. But ultimately, it comes down to what's being searched, what has traffic. That's going to drive people to your channel, and that's what's going to get it pushed out. So I would kind of fall back on all of those statistics and all of those the search volume and things like that.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. And you guys will probably see me a lot more often everywhere. I'm on.
Hey, you're up for it.
Take care.
Thanks, Eric.
All right. Well, I think we're way over. I got to jump to the next meeting. I apologize. We didn't get to everybody, but that's a great problem to have. I love it. So thank you so much. And hit us up in the Facebook group if you have any additional questions. And then also get on here first. Next week, we'll start with those other 3 channels. We'll keep those in the archive and work on those. And appreciate you joining us today. And make sure you go to passiveprospecting.com and sign up so you are the first to be notified when we release the book. Huge announcement we have on that. I just don't want to give it away just yet. But man, I tell you what, super excited about that project. It's going to be amazing. So, and go in our Facebook group and vote. Last day to vote for us for social media superstars of Dallas, Texas. Can you believe that? not based on production, unfortunately, based on production. We could easily.
Popularity contest.
But yes, please go to our Facebook group and vote. It's the last day to do that. We would love to win that. It'll be extremely embarrassing if we show up to that event and don't win. But anyways, thanks for all your help and support, and we will see you next week.